Hi, my name is Adrienne Groff, and this is my innovation project. So the problem that we have been given is the problem of children having arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, and ideally looking at how we can help them, because children that have that have limited activity when it comes to the function and range of the motion of joints, and muscle weakness is also present with children that have this condition as well. The biggest issue that I'm kind of attacking with this is the issue of gripping things, specifically in a school day. So, thinking about every day in school, what are things that we're holding in our hand and what are things we're using for writing, for painting, for drawing, everything like that. There's a lot of different utensils that they're using. So looking at how students can better grip these materials and actually be able to use them versus having to ideally create something else that they would use instead. So the goal of my project is to kind of create an add-on piece that would adapt to normal school pencils, crayons, markers, art materials as well. So it would just be added onto it, but then it would also provide a way that you could kind of change a setting in a sense. So it could fit any of those pencils or crayons because they do vary in width and length. So having something that would fit all of them versus just one of them would also be a great piece. The reason being is it would be more cost effective to find something that can adapt to materials that are already there versus having to create a whole different set of pencils, a whole different set of crayons, paint supplies, everything else. I would imagine that'd be cheaper just to have something that you can add on to what's already there versus having to purchase something that may not even exist at this point. I'm not even really sure. But I think it's a little bit more cost effective when you look at the fact that there's probably more people that do not have this condition than there are with the condition. So kind of being able to kind of keep in the norm of everything would definitely be a cost-effective thing as a teacher and as a school district. So as you look here, these are all the various school supplies that children use within a daily basis. So you have your painting supplies, so the various sizes of paintbrushes that you would have in an art room, down to pens, pencils, markers, crayons, even highlighters, which was something that I didn't really think about at first, but our students have used more and more highlighters throughout the day. So just having something that can adapt to all of these would be a great piece for students to be able to grip each and every single one of these. So ideally, the main idea was just having something that you could easily slide your pencil or pen or marker in, and the student would be able to use it. It would widen their grip, but also be able to fit onto something that is already there in the classroom. So this idea started just with the thought of just seeing a picture where as you can see up here, where it has like it adapting to the fingers. The only problem I foresaw with that is that I thought about how much control there really was with just those two fingers moving it. I wasn't quite sure if the student felt in full control of the marker or kind of felt like it would kind of run away with them a little bit. So I thought about something that could easily go on top. Nowadays, there's tons of different grippers that we use for our own students, sometimes as that decoration piece, sometimes as a sensory piece onto a pencil. So as I did some more research, there were just some different ideas. Obviously, widening the grip is going to be critical. So, there were these paintbrushes that I saw, and the only thing that I thought about was different would be the fact that these are created for people that need a wider grip to hold on to something. They're made specifically for that. These wouldn't be the paintbrushes that you would find within an elementary school on a daily basis that you see kids in general using. So that's why I kind of stayed away from just making a set just for students that have this condition and kind of get away from that aspect. So then there's the idea of, okay, well, the ball easily would widen a grip. So having something that might be a little bit softer, a little bit more squishier, that would add on to it would be a great way to widen the grip of a pencil in general. So you can see the picture up here. But then as I was thinking, how would I get it to fit different sizes of crayons and markers and pencils? I mean, and what kind of really came to mind was the idea of how my kids usually at the beginning of the year, they start with a thicker pencil, just for gripping purposes, but also because they're less likely to break the tip than they are with the number 2 pencils. So it's kind of nice to kind of have that aspect. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, we use a pencil sharpener that literally changes based on the width in which you need it to be to sharpen the pencil. So that's where the idea of, and that's why I have pencil sharpener here, is that whole front part where it's kind of like that dial that turns would be something that would be an interesting way to kind of help with the concept of fitting different sized writing and painting utensils into the add-on that widened the grip. So ideally, what I was thinking was this would kind of be either on the top part where the pencil would go down through first, or it would be on the bottom. I wasn't quite really sure which way it would go, or it'd be kind of on both, and I guess in a sense. And both of them would have to be on the same width in order for it to work properly and be able to kind of hold still. But that was kind of what I thought about as far as being able to include it with any writing utensil, is just having almost like a dial like it is on this pencil sharpener added onto the piece. So, and it would obviously have to change from an actual pencil sharpener to kind of think about like crayons, especially like what size those are specifically and how they might fit onto that as far as the width and everything. So those were just some of my ideas in how I would design something. So I look forward to your questions and comments. Thank you.